Well, hello and welcome to another Lanzarote information video. You'll recognise, of course, the stunning cliffs of Famara, but we're not spending today in Famara, as this sign suggests. We are leaving Famara, and we're on the this road is the LZ410, which goes right through the Harble, the desert part of Lanzarote. As you can probably hear, it's quite breezy. The plan today is to show you some of Lanzarote's villages that you may not know that well. So we're going to travel along this road, the LZ410. We're going to go to So. The world's traffic inevitably has arrived as I came to film. It was perfectly quiet before I arrived here. And we've got a load of bikes coming past us now. They presumably are heading back towards Club La Santa. It's about 5 kilometres along the LZ410 to get to the first village, which is So. It's spelt Su, but it's pronounced So. The first thing that really caught my eye is the way the sky looks above that red mountain there. It's absolutely stunning. So let's start walking and see where this takes us and what we find. Like many of these smaller villages, it's basically just one road with houses on either side of it and whatever else we're going to discover. Interesting mix of houses. There's one ultra modern one, and on this side much more traditional kind of places. Lovely shaded entry to that one. That's an interesting plot of land for sale there, for anyone who wants to build a house for themselves in the village of So. You get a decent view of the Harble and how big it is from here, and of course it sweeps all the way through the centre of the island, pretty much to San Bartolome. Named Calle Bailadero de Brujas, so it's the dance of the witches. There's obviously a story, but I don't know what it is. Now, as you'd expect with every village in Spain, there is a beautiful little church here, and of course a football pitch, which we can see now. And I'm going to take a look at that statue because I haven't seen that before, to try and find out what the story is. Well, this is interesting. It's a statue which is called Va Pelota, which is of somebody playing the game of pelota mano. So it's a kind of handball, a kind of Canarian handball, which was invented here in Lanzarote apparently, and crossed the sea to America from the villages of So, Munique, Tiagua and Teguise. And it's apparently a hallmark to the people of Lanzarote. Well, it's not something I've ever seen played, so I need to do a bit of research and find out some more about that. Let's go back to the main road. This is quite a nice notice that explains the Harble, El Harble. It's a habitat of interest to the community, and it shows some of the endemic plant species that live here, as well as the animal species that live here. So we've got a couple of birds there, and an explanation in English, German and Spanish. We've come to the first bar cafeteria, which has rather nice barrels outside that you can take your drink out. It's not open yet, relatively early in the morning. And on the left here is the Sociedad, Centro Socio-Cultural, which all good Canarian villages have. This is a cracking place. It's called Mun Su, and they kind of do healthy tapas, I guess would be a good description. Nice coffees. A lovely outdoor area, obviously not open yet. Quality food and drink. We've been there for a brunch on a Sunday and thoroughly enjoyed it. You can find the review on the website, just search for Munso, M-U-N-S-O-O, which of course I guess should be Munso. This is the cheesery, Queseria So. They make cheese from goats, and very good it is too, especially if you ask for the fuerte one, the strong one. And you can see the road starting to drop down now because we're heading towards the other coast. You can see the ocean there in the distance. And the road eventually takes us to Club La Santa, but we'll be changing direction when I get back to the car. This little shop is La Tienda de Lourdes, so it's the shop of Lourdes, and looks like she sells locally made stuff, the baskets and the hats that are woven from palm tree leaves, and there are certainly plenty of palms there here that she can use for making those things. And I've had a chance to look in Lourdes's shop, and I was mistaken. She isn't selling those baskets. They contain the goods that she is selling, which is fruit and veg. It's like a small supermarket. That's a sight you'll often see in the villages, a pair of cars. You can see two Suzuki SJ410 Jeeps there, and I don't know if it's the case with those two, but looking at them it might be. They'll often buy one as a donor car to make repairs to the one that is still a decent runner, and just looking at the fact that the back window's missing on one of them, that suggests that's the case here as well. And I know a few like that in our own village of Aria. Lady there with traditional Canarian clothing on. Surprising how often you still see that in the villages. They wear the same clothes they would have worn 50 or 100 years ago because they're practical and they work and they protect you from the sun. And here we have the village school. Which is quite quaint, and there's a playground on the side of it as well. Main bus stop in the centre of the village. I have to say I may have miscalculated here because this village is a lot longer than I imagined it would be. We're already 2k in and we haven't come to the end of it. So I might revise the plan for today's video, but we'll see. I do want to get to the end of it so that we don't miss anything. And I know there is a bit more to see down here. Lovely little traditional Canarian house here with a man sat in front of it on the aljibe. A witch here on the lamppost. So witches and so seem to go together based on the name of the road that we saw a little bit earlier. Of so. Kind of interesting that the end of the village is marked by a ruin. I wonder whose house that was once before. Certainly got lots of land with it. And in the background there you can see quite clearly Club La Santa. So I'm going to head back to the car now